Hi everyone, how are you doing? Thank you so much for stopping by my channel. I'm going to be delivering a message for the collective. So do take what resonates, leave the rest behind, and know that this is a timeless reading. So whenever you come across this video and the title resonates with you, then there could be something in there for you, some kind of guidance or confirmation. So we're going to have a look and see what's going on with the collective right now. I was hearing that, I've seen enough. I've seen enough now. You've had me at, such and such, whatever was said by another person, but it's like, yeah, I've seen enough now. So it's like you're seeing things, people, places, things, and it's giving you that confirmation, like, this is all I need to know. Thank you for your time. I just feel that you're no longer allowing to sort of stick it out for much longer. Before, like, you would have said, give somebody, like, say, 6 months or a few months, like a trial period. But I feel that trial period has decreased dramatically. And, it could be from a few days to a couple of weeks, month tops. And it's like, and even less than that, especially if it's somebody that you don't really know, but if it's somebody that you do, you might still extend it slightly, but it's not going to be as it was before. So let's get into this. The strongest possible timeline for the collective right now. A lot of cross-referencing, thinking, processing, as I said. All right, let's see what card comes up. We have got the Knight of Wands in the upright position, in the reverse. It's a bit of a slowing down here, quite a lot, slowing things down a bit. The Well card in the reverse. The Two of Discs in the reverse. The Page of Wands in the reverse. The Queen of Wands in the upright position. Wow. And we got the Strength card in the upright position. Very, very fiery energy here. This is a lot of action that's been taken. It's almost as if you are knowing how and when to sort of like where you put in your energies. And if something is where you've been like, I've seen enough, like, that's it for me. Thank you for, and then you're on your way. You're just in the other direction. Anything that is going to be disrupting your inner peace, your vision, your intention, and it's not in alignment with you anymore, it's got to go. You slow your energy down. You slow down the frequent times that you would engage with somebody. Because this is, especially with the way how, all right, let's look at these three cards, for instance. You've got the Two of Pentacles, the Two of Discs in the reverse. You've got the Page of Wands in the reverse and the Queen of Wands in the upright position. This really is not telling me that there is alignment here. Might have been before, but even then I doubt that very much. I feel that you were very generous with your time because you didn't want to be seen as being really cold and, like, you give people the benefit of the doubt, but don't take the piss. And especially if most people are in this sort of easily triggered toxic energy, very polarized, very unbalanced, and they have a very limited perception, and their belief system is, it still needs more work on. But where you're at right now in your mindset, your experience, and the fact that you are no longer allowing to give your time or allow your energy to be harvested or, sort of wasted, it's like, no, this is enough. This is enough. I've seen enough. I'm looking in the other direction. And the person, if you notice that the page of wands is even looking in the other direction. So there's no alignment here. It's very, very unbalanced, very distorted. And I feel that you have been really perfecting your resistance a hell of a lot. Like, no is no. Why am I going to be engaging in an old system that clearly does not work for me? The World card in reverse is just like this old, outdated way of thinking. You've done like a lot of shedding, a lot of growing up. You don't really care about what people think about you, what they've got to say, who they say it to. I'm really getting a lot of like a solo efforts. That's what I'm hearing, solo efforts. If you have to, you're still doing your soul mission. You are still doing what you were sent here to do. And I feel that the less white noise that's around all that kind of like disruptions and distractions from people who still don't even have a clue of who they are, where they're going. But you do. You're doing it on your own. And to hell with people that want to be like, oh yeah, we need to, form groups together. We need to sort of unite together. But you can still see there is so much distortion there. There's this, people want to be like the leader. They want to be the ones at the top. There's a situation between a page of wands and a knight of wands giving off this sort of like conflict, this competition. You've bypassed all of, you've gone past all of that. You've transcended all of those toxic elements. And, again, these different aspects could have even been you at one point at some time. Like you were part of something, but it just, you feel like you were either duped or this cult-like following. You're not into no cult mentality. And if that's what you've been picking up on, especially in recent months, then you're like, I'm getting on. I'm moving away from this. So let's expand this reading. Let's expand this energy a little bit more. I've really been getting a lot of sort of like these downloads that you would be getting right now. I'm not saying that you would be sharing them with anybody, but I more feel that this is like confirmation of what you know. You probably do get your own decks out to say, well, let me just get extra information here. Let me just get this confirmation. Even though, yes, you see it and you feel it within your heart, because at every given moment, you still want to have something visual to kind of focus on that's going to keep you anchored on your path, not tethered to an old situation, but you are anchoring yourself and your intention on the path that you know that is for you. And you'll be damned if anybody is going to disrupt your path just because they want to be in competition with you, just because they think that they know more than you. And this, I'm the only one type vibe. Get out of here with that nonsense. I don't have time for that. And I guess even though you're in the Queen of Wands and you may be admired by a lot of people, but you've got a lot of people that's trying to compete with your energy. Because I want to try and get to understand you, psych you out. Be mindful of people that may even be trying to remote view you as well. You need to build up your defenses here, because you have people that will be trying to do any fucking thing to get to find out who you are, what makes you tick, but most importantly, what they can get out of you or have you on some kind of display. to help boost themselves up. Be mindful of individuals like that who claim that they are part of a spiritual community. Yeah, spiritual cult more like. So, that will not be for everybody, but you just take what resonates with that message. I'm sensing that you will get a lot of heart activations, pressure on the crown chakra, at least for the past few days. But this is you stepping further and further into your purpose and your power as you let go of all these stupid little labels that don't mean anything, never bloody did. When you start to see it for what it really is, that it was just part of a character that you were expected to play because it suited and made everybody else feel comfortable around you. Then you realised how inauthentic you was. You wasn't for real with yourself. You wasn't being for real. That was distortion because those around you, as distorted as they could get, and you're trying to find your way back to your wholeness, your oneness. And, people like that aren't ready yet. That's fine. You just have to leave people where you find them. So I've shuffled the deck. Let's have a look and see what's going on with this Knight of Wands in the reverse. So we have got the Ace of Pentacles. Somebody definitely could have been trying to take what they can from you, materialistically, financially, trying to take your destiny away from you. That's why I said that, be mindful that people, I'm not trying to put fear or make you feel paranoid. Only you will know exactly if you've had any kind of experiences of that before, if you felt a sudden shift in the room or outside or wherever you are. You need to really build up your defenses spiritually in your room. I'm not talking about an alarm system or a ring bell and all that shit. I'm talking some real spiritual stuff here, shaman energy. You have to really go deep. What's the world card about? We have got the Eight of Cups in the reverse. So happily walking away from things that no longer align with you. In the upright position, it would be about, it's been really sad and, and all that. Yeah, it's fine. You want to be like that towards me? That's okay. In fact, thank you for showing me who you are. Your actions told me everything there is to know about you. I've seen enough. You had me at, such and such. And then you lost me. The Two of Discs, or Two of Pentacles in the reverse, is the Three of Wands in the reverse. No future here. This isn't really going according to plan. People trying to hold you back so that they can steal more of your light. You're not into having your energy harvested, your loosh, harvested for anybody. Doesn't matter who they are. Doesn't matter how nice they appear on the screen or in person. But this is not going to be, for you. So the Three of Wands in reverse, people trying to make you live in the past because that's where it's more comfortable for them to be living in the past. You're all about living in the moment. Doing what you need to do. They want you to be all small and tiny and fearful, easily triggered when you would have worked, through the night even, going through your healing. Dark night of the soul, you've already done all of that already. I find as well that there's people out there that would your light is like a drug to them. Your light, your energy is one hell of a drug. Energy harvesting is one hell of a drug. And the more they want to extract from your light, the darker that they're hoping you will become until you are just like them. And it's not really going to happen. Not in the way that they have been thinking or planning, or whatever kind of black magic energy, dark alchemy that they may be putting your way. Can't fucking have you. The Page of Wands in the reverse. They're a liability. And I feel that you would have had to push hard in order to break through. And don't forget, you're in this queen energy anyway. But this is where it stops. And all of their ignorance, wastrel energy. Okay? They are limiting and pushing and stopping themselves. And this is what you can see. This is what you sensed. And probably if you do your own readings, I'm saying this card would have come up quite, a couple of times for you to show you, you see, this is where it has to end. You've come to the end of the road. You're trying to block my path. You're trying to be, you're trying to be somebody who is trying to show that you have strength, but you are just showing me that you have so much weakness because you're not even strong enough to let go of those 10 of Wands, holding on to things that, but the oppressed. Another thing that's coming in is that these people are part of a system that they have been programmed to uphold. But they can't do it on their own. They need, strength in numbers so that they can keep on protecting the system that they're a part of. And with your energy, with your experience, you will be a great ally to have in order to help build and keep up this frequency fence on the Dark One's behalf. But your purpose is not for that at all. You never came here to be maintaining any kind of mental prison, spiritual prison, and continue to keep yourself a prisoner when your purpose is to break free from that. And for the Queen of Wands in the upright position, we have got the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse. No more slowing down. Now, the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse, in the upright position would be, things would be dragging, one of the slowest cards in the spread, in the deck. But because it's in the reverse, another thing that's popping into my mind, besides being dragging, is the fact that you've seen them as a Trojan horse that may have been trying to enter into your field just so that they could distort it and then keep you really and truly bound to misery and ignorance and division, because their belief system tells them so. The programming that they have been infused with tells them so, commands them to do that. They go around scouting for new people. The Knight of Pentacles can be very ignorant energy too. So if somebody gets on your bad side, you're going to have to tell them real hard about themselves. Because you're, Queen of Wands energy, yeah, you might look really nice and pretty, but don't fuck with you. Stop playing with me. You're not in the mood for further Mickey Mouse bullshit. And the card underneath the bottom of the deck is the Temperance card in the reverse. So again, this field of distortion and balanced. And this is not for you. This is how they want you to have all of your light expunged from your body and harvested for further distortion upon others. And this is what's been going on. This is spiritual, part of the spiritual warfare. It's how they stay. They don't want you to be at peace within yourself. You can spell the word peace. Take the word peace from temperance, and you can also take the word temper from temperance. You love yourself enough to hold on to your inner peace and walk away from anything or anybody. To you, you don't really give a damn as to how many followers somebody has. that doesn't mean shit to you. But you'd rather go renegade, rogue, and just or be looked upon like that. All those little labels that they want to put on you. Oh, you're weird, you're cold, you're really, you know, you're on a low vibration. Like all this narcissistic reverse psychology bullshit. They're doing anything to guilt trip you in order to stay in this mess. But that's not you. Because you know who you are. You are so aligned with source that, you know, it's as if like you could just keep on going and just live out in the middle of nowhere and survive. So long as you've got the necessary resources around you, I find people like you are extremely resourceful. Only the strong survive. And being the strong survive is usually to do with the level of consciousness, the will, the sheer willpower that you have within you. And with the strength card being in the upright position with the Queen of Wands, your strength is your greatest ally. And the alignment that you have with Source. Source is your greatest ally. It's you remembering who you are yourself. You're a fractal of Source, the one that has remembered or is on the way to remembering and stepping fully back into who they actually are and not what the world expects them to think of themselves as being. This 3D low vibrational shit, this cesspit of a swamp system is disgusting. Nature is beautiful. The planet is beautiful. It's a beautiful place. But the most ugliest part of it, the invasion of it all, is the system and the people who are trapped in there that make it appear to look just disgusting and despicable. But the moment that you step away from all of that noise, back into alignment with the animals and nature, the birds singing, everything, the trees, raises your frequency so much that this is why this is happening right now. So let's close out this reading. Let's close out this reading with the inner temple. I'm really getting someone, like I'm just hearing like, my cats are my only friends, my truest friends, or, you know, animal lover. You can rely on them more to save your life than a person. Like, you know, I'm just getting that. Now that also needs to have, again, I just, you know, because we're all at a particular level in our lives right now on this, you know, this plane of existence. You know that you still have more inner work to do. And there is this moment of where the more distant you are from people, places and things, the more that you will be able to find the peace within yourself to really balance yourself out even more. Not saying that you hate people, but you just hate the system that's making people be so distorted. And it's also on them. They have to be held accountable for their own actions. They're not children, they're not little babies. But they want to try and act like, you know, they're back at high school, elementary school, primary school, secondary school, whatever that indoctrinated system is all about. Just programmed to work, never programmed to really think. So we have got the scene. We've seen enough. And you would rather be, as I said, somebody who would rather be in nature, looking at the birds, the trees, grounding yourself, putting your bare feet in the soil and connecting back, feeling the earth star from the core rising up through you, and that's protecting you even more and helping you to see. The next card that I've got for you, Chamber of Manifestation. Seeing your visions much more clearly, knowing exactly what you want and getting to work on it. Taking action in order to bring in what you want, what you're envisioning, into the reality of where you're at. So your timeline is going to be looking nice and healthy and secured. Next card that we've got is Destiny Life. So I was saying they were trying to like destiny swap or steal your destiny away from you. So I was getting with the Ace of Pentacles being in the reverse. Trying to take what's not rightfully theirs, but it's rightfully yours. Okay? Staying golden. Never tarnished. The next card that I've got is Freedom. You know, this is how they wanted you trapped so that you will never be able to have the confidence within yourself, the spiritual health and wellness to really and truly, you know, see yourself in the way that, I'm not saying this to be like, to make you be like one of those kind of people who, oh, you think you're too nice or shit like that. I'm not into that, you know, that low vibrational nonsense. But you know that you are a beautiful, divine, sacred being who's very, very sovereign. And because you know of that already, you don't consent to this nastiness. All these labels don't mean anything to you. You don't care. If somebody don't like you, I don't care. I don't care if I fit it in or if my appearance doesn't please, you know, the visions and sights in the eyes of others. Who are they? Right? The last card that I've got for you is Inner Summer. So there's this bloom. There's this, I tell you, I really, really feel, I said this yesterday or the day before, I can't remember now, but there's something about the way how this summer, the summer months, and this is obviously like giving me strong, you know, affiliation with the Queen of Wands energy and the Strength card as well. But I really feel by August, July, August, you are just going to be even more greater than where you're at right now. It's going to be like, if you haven't moved away physically from where you are, I'm talking, this is internal stuff. Let's move away from the mindset of the material and more in alignment with the spiritual. And then the card underneath the bottom of the deck to close out this reading is Inner Spring. Wow, so you've definitely completed a cycle here. Spring, summer, autumn, winter, yeah, you've definitely closed out a cycle, which explains why the World card then is in the reverse. That's fantastic. So this is what I've got for you. Thank you for watching this reading. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you guys in the next reading. Take care.